And this is my question to you guys that are watching this. Like, what do you want to know about the industry? Do you want to know about what it was like to get into it? What it's like to build cameras? I think the biggest question everyone asks is, how did I break into doing this? What questions do you have about process, about actors, about directing, about camera movements? I guess I can share all of those things. Hey, what's up, guys? My name's David from TRN Media. I just figure, I've been kind of slowly showing some behind the scene things that I've done on film sets. So I just kind of wanted to actually introduce myself. I'm not new to YouTube. I did it a few years ago and kind of took a step back as I got into film. My other channel was TRN Cobra Kai Theories, Team Rubalcava Network. So you can check that out if you want to. I'll leave a link in, but that's kind of where I started in YouTube and then kind of left to actually work in the film industry. So a lot of people ask me, what do you do? What do you do in the film industry? And I don't even know how to answer that because it depends. So I'll list the things that I normally do on set. So one of them is as a photographer, right? So I'm a still photographer, shoot behind the scenes, and also videography. Like I shoot stills, and then I'll switch over and shoot like takes that they're doing, or just like the setup or whatever the director is kind of looking for. So that they can use for marketing purposes or just kind of Instagram to create awareness around that project. So those are things that I do rather consistently. But I also do other things, and that's like being a camera operator on different projects. So sometimes it's video projects where we're working in studios or shooting commercials. Sometimes it's actually on film sets where I'm like operating camera B, which is not the main camera, just another additional camera. Sometimes camera B, camera C, and that's gathering like another angle, or sometimes like the insert shots, like of if they're in a kitchen and you want to see their hand up close, grab something, like that's kind of like the insert shot, or maybe something that's in the background that just like the clock ticking or whatever. Like those are the types of like insert shots that I'll do. But one of the other things that I do is I pull focus, and that's called the first AC. So I do that often as well. I wouldn't say that that's my favorite thing to do, but I've done it a lot. And usually I have a couple of buddies that I normally do that function only, but it's been known to happen where I'm on set, something happens, or they pick up another camera, there's another camera angle that they need, and someone needs to pull focus, and then that's kind of when I step in. They're like, you're the photographer. I'm like, yeah, I can pull focus too. I do a lot of different shit. So, and there's been times where that's happened to me all of a sudden. Now I'm the first AC on camera B. And then when the take ends, I pull out my camera, start shooting and gathering BTS. To me, it makes sense because I'm in that area anyways. And I've learned just being on set when they need somebody to step in. And then I've done second AC. That's when they do the slate and you call out the scene, and that's, you do the slate or whatever. I've also done grip work, where that's putting up the lights and just moving equipment, putting things in position. So I've done like a lot of different stuff. So sometimes it really just depends on who's calling me. Sometimes they call me specifically for photography and videography. Sometimes I'm called to be the AC. Sometimes I'm called to do grip work. And then there's been sets where I've done all of it, like on these little indie films where I'm like putting up stuff. Next thing I know, I'm like helping with the camera or build the camera. Next thing I know, I'm pulling focus. So even the director in one of the films that I worked on, he looked at me like, how are you able to do that? And it's like, it's just something that naturally I started doing grip work, and then naturally started doing AC. And sometimes I would slate second AC and have my camera on me. There's pictures of me with my camera on me. And then when they would start rolling, I would start filming behind the scenes. And then when the take would end, I'd shoot some BTS pictures or whatever. But what I'm looking to do is to really start sharing more and more of that. So we did recently a campaign with Dear Ernie, and that's where I kind of started showing a little bit of behind the scenes and releasing it on social media and eventually YouTube as well. I've been sitting on the fence, like, what should I do? Should I share? And this is my question to you guys that are watching this. Like, what do you want to know about the industry? What do you want to know about? Do you want to know about what it was like to get into it? What it's like on daily set? What it's like to build cameras and to learn about these expensive cameras and crazy stuff? Do you want to learn about set life and what it's like between small projects, big project, what it's like when the projects are like commercials, videography, photo shoots that I've been on, music videos, like you name it. So I'm just kind of curious, what do you guys want me to share? And I think the biggest question everyone asks is, how did I break into doing this? Because I had a full-time job for 20 years. So it's only been the last 3 or 4 years that I actually made the leap. Like, I'm done working in a career that I hated, which was in retail, and I was a store manager. I'm not gonna hide that. But I always had this love for creativity and filmmaking. And now I find myself in a position where I'm excited to actually create my own films, and I have the gear to do it. I have cinema cameras, I have lights, but being on set, I was really inspired by watching other directors. I learned the mechanics of filmmaking. So now when it's like, okay, I have an idea, I actually know how to shoot it because I saw it. And I spent so many years on sets just learning. Man, I started as a PA on some sets, and I'm sitting there watching the camera work. I'm watching the monitor. I wasn't just there like doing whatever. I was like in tune with the camera work. And that's why I always ended up on the camera teams, because I was so fascinated with, why did you choose that shot? Why is there movement? Why do you have to use different gear to get a different shot? Whether it's a stabilizer, whether it's on tracks, whether it's on why? And so I asked a lot of those questions, and these are professionals that have been doing this for a long time. So I got to learn up close and personal with professionals. I have no film background. I did not go to film school. I did not do any of that. So to learn from professionals firsthand, it was so freaking cool. It was hard, and I can share those stories about how hard it really was to do it. I'm just putting it out there to you guys in the comments, what would you want to learn about this industry? What would you want to know? What questions do you have about process, about actors, about directing, about camera movements? I guess I can share all of those things, and that's what I'm trying to figure out right now. And so with this channel was designed more to just show work that I've done, when I realized it can become so much more than that. So let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe. This is a brand new channel. It really it hasn't gone off the ground, but I'm putting it out there to you, putting it out to everyone else. What do you want to know? What do you want me to share with you? And we can take it from there. Cool. All right. Don't forget to subscribe.